On June 14th of last year, OnePlus released the OnePlus 3 in a continued effort to kill off other more popular, more expensive flagship smartphones. But just over 3.5 months later, yes, 3.5 months later, they released the OnePlus 3T. It's literally the OnePlus 3 with a spec bump. Initially, this was meant to go side by side with the regular 3 and not replace it. But with a price tag that's only $40 heavier, we all knew it'd be better to just get the 3T. Now it's been about 3 months since the 3T's release. Should you invest in one now or wait to get something else? With it being a new year for new smartphones, will the 3T still be able to compete? Nowadays, more and more consumers want nothing short of a great smartphone, one that can do it all. Some users are willing to shell out stacks for the most popular phone, while others don't find the need to do so and are in search of something that'll be a little lighter on their wallets. So what exactly makes a smartphone a great one? A good place to start would be the screen, right? The 3T has a very attractive display at 5.5 inches, which is the sweet spot for a lot of people, and it looks so clean at first that you probably couldn't tell that it's only 1080p. Yeah, seriously, this is probably the best looking 1080p display I've seen on a phone. I guess you could say that its saving grace is the fact that it's also AMOLED, so colors are bright, vibrant, and punchy, and you get those awesome deep dark blacks. So with the combination of 1080p and AMOLED, know that this can help save you some battery life, and trust me, it does. So good screen? Check. Next up, hardware. Now when it comes to this phone's build, worry not guys, this is a super premium, solid, and well put together device. This phone has one of the most solid builds on any smartphone I own, and I own a lot of them. It's covered in aluminum, which while it's nice to look at, it's something I personally have a hard time keeping clean, scratch free, and well, the phone is pretty darn slippery, so of course I went ahead and slapped the D-brand skin on mine. Go ahead and check out the one I have here in the description. So great hardware? Check. Now what about features? Because that's important too, right? Well, the 3T is the closest you'll get to a Nexus or a Pixel in terms of software features. As for hardware features, I find it sad that the headphone jack is now seen as a welcome addition as opposed to it being there normally. There's a blazing fast fingerprint reader, which is among the fastest I've ever tried, and it has a notification slider. Now this, at least in my opinion, is a pretty underrated feature, and I'd kind of like to see this on other phones. It's not a deal maker or breaker, however, it's just a nice thing to have. But getting back into the software though, the best way I can explain what they're calling Oxygen OS would be stock Android with a touch of extra yet welcome customization options. From being able to change accent colors throughout the OS, switch in between software and hardware navigation keys depending on your preference, to its complete suite of gestures that make using the phone that much more enjoyable. So while the 3T and Oxygen OS may not sport as many features as you'll find on say something like Samsung's or LG's skins, it still has a tad bit more to offer than pure stock Android. It's very comparable to HTC Sense feature-wise. Now this also ties into user experience where nothing much needs to be said other than it's fantastic. You talk about phones being fast like the iPhone 7 or Huawei Mate 9 for example, this phone is not only fast, it's flippin' quick. And yes, there's a difference. This phone is so snappy, it's not even funny. It flies. There's pretty much no lag and everything moves nicely in rhythm. And tack on the fact that my 3T got its Nougat update just a little while ago, which includes custom DPI support, multi-window capabilities, double tap to go back to your previously opened application, and more. But one of the things that can make or break a smartphone, especially nowadays, are the cameras. But with the 3T, the cameras are definitely a selling point. I actually enjoy the results that I get more than what I get out of the more expensive Huawei Mate 9. You'll get clean, crisp shots and impressive low light performance with the 16 megapixel shooter, which is one of the few things that got carried over from the regular 3. But what didn't get carried over was the selfie camera. This too packs a 16 megapixel sensor for much better looking selfies, and it really does a great job with that. You selfie takers out there will love this one. As far as video goes, resolution can go up to 4K, so thumbs up for that, and it's really solid. It's pretty much what you would expect out of a camera in a phone in this price range. So good cameras? Check. But now that we're on the subject of differences between the 3 and the 3T, what exactly constitutes the T in 3T and the extra $40 cost? Well, for starters, the 3T comes in a 128GB variant. It has the newer, more efficient Snapdragon 821 chip over the 3's 820 chip. It's got that upgraded 16 megapixel selfie camera as we talked about before, and a slightly larger 3400 mAh battery, which by the way provides more than enough juice to get through a day's use. The 3T is a battery sipper and I love it. And aside from a slight body color difference, the phone is exactly the same. This just kind of made me scratch my head wondering why this wasn't the regular 3 in the first place. But with this spec bump laid out before us for $40 more, it really begs the question, is it worth it? To put it plainly, heck yes. It's phones like the 3T that make you ask yourself if it's worth shelling out near to or flat out more than double the phone's actual cost. I mean, we're talking about a phone with a more than passable AMOLED display, 6 gigabytes of RAM, great battery life, fantastic performance, the latest version of Android with a few neat tweaks, a super solid set of cameras, a stupid fast fingerprint reader, and an awesome build for less than $500. So when you take a step back and look at the 3T, it's almost as if it's the perfect smartphone. It's one with little to no downfalls, and with what it's supposed to do, it does nothing short of a fantastic job. There's no doubt in my mind that this phone will last for a very long time in this crowded smartphone world. I have no issues recommending this phone to anybody. It's easily worth it. So what do you guys think about the OnePlus 3T? Is it worth $440? Will it last with the other flagships coming out in 2017? Let us know by dropping a comment down below. We'd love to hear your feedback. But anyway, that does it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe to the Android Police channel if you haven't already. That does it for me. I'll talk to you guys in the next one, and thanks for watching.